I feel the same way, and even jump on the counters at the other. But they're marble at this part.
Another stick, yes.
All right. I've even done double sided tape. Kept that down for weeks. And it's still open.
Thank you. And then these are the markers we're gonna use, but there's just a variety of markers, so you can kind of like do a little test of the colors on the paper right there, and then kind of just see what colors they are, and you know, you can just kind of trade with me or something. Kind of just with the neighbor here. If you want a different color.
Right. Gotcha.
And then this glue is going to be passed around, so we don't really need that much glue, but so I just brought one bottle. Okay, get my stuff over here. Let's start. And an envelope. Also, actually, okay. Get my fancy chair. Like a little bit taller. Okay. How is that? Okay, see what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So to start us off, we are going to kind of look at what we have in our materials kit right here. First. Okay. So you have your floral tape, which is kind of cut into little sections. It just makes it a little bit more manageable to work with later. You have your crepe paper, which is just, you know, those like party streamers, like the roll I have right there. So I think that roll was like $1. So I think I went to Hobby Lobby and got it for $1. You do have pieces of floral wire. So you should have a long piece. My long piece. Well, I'm going to use a branch, so I'm not going to use that, but you should have a long piece and a couple of short pieces. Okay. And then that's going to give you this stem. Oh, actually they should have 5 pieces. So I'll have to redistribute those. And then I also put a little blue petal like shape just to give you an idea of kind of the shape and the size that we're going for the petals. And so you can use that to cut them out. Okay. So it's just basically going to be a flower that's assembled. So we have the little center part, I think it's called a stamen, I'm not sure.
Yep.
And you can see what it kind of looks like with different colors, right? So cherry blossoms come in a variety of like shades of pinks, and some even have like purples in it, like the plum blossoms. So those kind of all bloom kind of similarly, where they have the same look to them. So some of them, the stamen are all dark, some of them they're white. So you can choose to leave it pink, right, the color of the crepe paper, or you can decide kind of what color you want to what look you want it to have. Okay, so we're going to start off with the little piece, and go ahead and start folding your crepe paper. I might get zoomed out here. Okay, let me know if you guys have any problems seeing. Okay, so go ahead and fold it about an inch, an inch over on itself. And for this first one, we're just going to make 5 petals. 3, 4, 5.
What is considered, like one of these is considered a petal?
Yes, one
Okay.
little section. Okay. So, and if you need more of this stuff, I have more.
So it's like 2 on this side and 2 on this side, so you do 3.
Yeah, so it's just,
Okay.
like,
I'm sorry, I'll probably ask like 9,000 questions
okay.
because I've never done this.
Yeah, you can check. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you kind of flip through it.
Oh,
5.
that way. Okay, gotcha.
Okay. And you can get a couple of these ready if you want to just kind of cut a bunch at a time. So again, just about an inch, probably even less than an inch. And if you keep folding, obviously you can just cut a bunch at a time because the paper is very thin. It's almost like a crinkled tissue paper. So you know, you can cut the whole section at a time. Okay, so this is gonna give us our flower petals, and the crepe paper is nice and perfect for making flowers because it has a little bit of a crinkle to it, and when you kind of pull that crinkle out and press it in, it'll give the petal a little bit of a natural kind of curve to it.
Oh, so you cut it.
So-
You cut the flower.
Yeah, so this is the template, you know, the petal, okay? So you can kind of lay it on top of there, you know, and then just cut around. You can kind of just cut it really like basic, like I just kind of like to snip it all around here just to get it off. And then you can kind of go in and just work your way around. So this is kind of like a foundational, I tried to do in January classes that I felt would be good to build upon, you know, like if somebody wanted to do more paper flowers, different kinds, more complicated paper flowers, then at least we kind of have a foundation for how it would work. Same thing with the one-stroke painting, you know, we can do more classes if people are interested. So it just kind of depends where we go with it. So, you know, just keep that in mind. And these are great for any kind of indoor decorative use, right? So I imagine I would put this little one, maybe like in a small little bud vase somewhere, or if I just, you know, make the branch a little bit longer with more flowers and make it a little bit more elaborate. Okay. And then so here you have your petals separate. So we're gonna take, you know, 5 of these. Okay, so I made 6. And then with each, with a color that you guys decide, you can color them in a little bit. And so this is just like a kind of like a neon pink here with this Sharpie. So I kind of like that vibrant look. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of this, going up maybe about halfway here. And again, you can just kind of test the colors on the paper to see. It says the name of the color on there. For most of them, I passed around a bunch of alcohol base markers. So if that smell bothers you, just, you know, switch it out for another one. Obviously, Sharpies don't smell much better. So this is pink. And I think I'm just gonna leave that one like that, but if you want to do it with a little bit of a darker look to it, this is covering a little bit more. This is just covering the very little, you know, kind of center, maybe like a 1/4 of an inch into it with a darker pink. So it's just gonna give you a little bit of a different look to it. So here are my petals. There's multiple ways you can color this. I've seen them do, you know, markers are probably the easiest. I've seen them use, what's it called, chalk pastels to color them in, and kind of gives it a little bit of a soft look to it. You can even use like colored pencil, or maybe even crayon might work. You have some crayons laying around, if you have some kids' crayons.
But watercolor.
Watercolor is just gonna get the paper wet, the crepe paper. So
Probably destroy it.
if you leave it to dry, I think it should be fine. So yeah, I haven't tried it with watercolor, but try it and see if it works. It'll probably give it a nice like gradient to it. It'll probably look a little bit nicer, but alcohol markers also can be blendable. So if you don't know about alcohol markers, it's kind of good to use them because the ink is water resistant. So if you do get some, you know, a little bit of water sprinkled on there or something, it's not going to fade the color. So shoot.
Mom,
No, I've been getting so many spam calls lately. Oh yeah, another option too, I just brought a sample just to see, is like a little ink pad, okay? And then another way of doing the petals or coloring the petals too is just kind of coloring the entire strip. So I'm getting a little bit of this, and if you want to use this one, I just didn't have very many of these, so if you want to try this one, you can. This is coloring with a little bit of stamping ink, so some of you guys might have that stuff already laying around. And that gives it a really cool little ombre, okay? So I think this looks pretty cool. I'm gonna try to darken it a little bit more on the bottom. Okay, so I'll pass this one around. Just try to make it easy. You guys want to try that one?
Anybody want this?
And I think
I'm gonna go with easy.
Yeah. So that one, obviously you want to do before you cut out the petals. I kind of like coloring them after I cut them out, just because you can really see and make sure you have enough of the marker on there and like exactly where it's gonna go. So that's my preference. Okay.
How many flowers did you envision altogether?
I have enough for you guys. Well, I put enough in there for you guys to make 5.
Oh,
But-
really? I'm almost out. And I have.
Oh, okay, then we'll just pass around the,
Well, I might be all right. Meh, I don't know.
it's okay. If you need more, I mean, there's a whole roll, so pass around some more.
Well, I still have a little bit left.
And I have extra of the floral tape and the wire and everything, so whatever you might need.
Let's see, we're putting 5 to a flower, right?
Oops, needs a little bit more color. So you can make all of them if you want to right now, all the petals. Hi. Or you can wait and see. No, that's fine. Appreciate it. Or you can wait and see kind of how one's gonna look, and then you can decide how to color it in after you see the first one. So it's up to you, or you want to try different colors. This would also make a nice, like, you know, garland for graduations, you know, like making a whole bunch of these garlands, or making, wedding decorations. I've seen these crepe paper flowers used in a lot of different ways. All right, so there's my whole collection of little petals everywhere. And you can just kind of leave little scraps on the side.
So we used to make them, but they were a lot bigger than they are.
Yeah.
We just used the whole row.
So do you still have that kitty cat?
Yes.
Mm.
No. It made some money.
Yeah, right.
They will have exactly enough. Yay.
Wow, that seems great.
So if you, even if you just make 1 or 2, that's fine. 1 or 2, enough for 1 or 2 flowers, sorry. That's fine. You don't have to make all 5 of them right now, so there's no rush.
Oops, I tooled down.
Okay. So once we have some of the petals, I'm gonna show you guys how to make the little center part. So this one has a tip that's a little bit darker. So if you have a darker marker, it's gonna look like that. This has a little bit of a yellow on it. I'm gonna make this one orange. And so for this center part, you just want to mark the very tip of this. And, oh, sorry, this is about 1.5 inches, maybe like 2 thumbs wide. Just gonna mark the tip of that. And then for this, you're just gonna go in and make a cut probably about halfway down. That's okay. Mine just running too. And here. And you're gonna go down about 1/8 of an inch. So how could I compare to that? Maybe like half a pinky. Okay. 1/8 of an inch. Half of your pinky nail, I should say. And then you're gonna cut these little strips about halfway down the little roll. So this is just getting cut to the middle. Okay.
Here.
Probably go even a
Thank
little
you.
further. Yeah, halfway down or a little further than halfway down should be fine. It just depends on how long you want the pieces to kind of come out. I think these are cut maybe a little bit longer than halfway. And you can also kind of compare it to your petal, right? So if that's gonna be the center, you know, the little stamen are gonna come out. You want them to come out enough to be visible, right? Or else what's the point?
Oh, there's.
Okay. And you know, there's a whole bunch of these. If you really wanted to count them, there's about, I don't know, 8 or 10. So this one has 8, 9. Okay. And then with these, we're just gonna take each little section and we're gonna roll it, okay? And the easiest way to roll it is to just kind of lick your finger and starting from the bottom, actually, rolling it and moving your way up towards the tip. Okay,
Okay.
so am I going too fast or you guys, did you guys get them cut yet or not?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it's okay, am
So
I
you
going too
just
fast?
to show that,
Yeah, so I'm gonna go on the end here, okay? Kind of dip my finger a little bit, get a little bit of saliva on there. And then I'm just gonna roll it gently. And then roll it all the way to the tip,
right.
okay? So I'm just gonna grab the next one, and you can kind of separate them if a little bit, if that helps. You just roll it gently. Roll it all the way towards the tip. These would be great for a little headpiece too, for a, we made a little headband or a headpiece for, with needle felting. You can also do this with crepe paper flowers, although, you know, it will be a little bit more delicate.
Okay, get out of my way, buddy.
So just kind of grab it in between here, kind of moving the other ones aside even, it might help. And then just rolling it gently with your finger, wetting your finger if you need to, just to get it to grip a little bit.
Is this enough for one?
This is just one, yeah.
So
So
we-
about an inch. If you made it super long, you know, you can cut it and make 2, you know, you can kind of do a whole bunch at one time. But if you cut about 1.5 inches, it should be enough for one. Okay, and so we have these little weird looking little hairs here, little hairs with orange tips. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna put some glue. This is just regular white glue. I'm gonna put some glue. Well, actually, let me show you guys. I used to do this with my high school students when I didn't want them all to have individual glue bottles because they're terrible with glue.
What are
They
you
start-
saying?
They start putting it all over their hands and peeling it off and, you know.
So how many of these little gizmos per flower?
This is enough for one. So I
Really?
was,
This much?
and again, it's up to you. If you want to do less, this is kind of what it looks like with about the same amount. If you feel like you want to do less, that's fine, or make them shorter, but you know, if you guys look at, I was just going off of a cherry blossom, you know, sample that I saw, so if you take a look at different examples, you know, they do probably have different lengths and different colors on them too, so it's up to you kind of how you want to make it, and I don't know why this glue bottle is so stuck.
It's not behaving.
So stuck, I just used it. I didn't close it right.
The glue for you.
Seriously, right when you need it. Okay, well, the easy solution is to just
When in doubt.
put a little blob here. And so I cut a little piece of the index card off. so that I can just kind of dip it onto this, so I don't have to use my finger. And then use that as like a little spatula, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and pass around this glue and you guys can do the same thing.
So that's all we're using that yellow.
Yeah,
index
that's,
card for.
that's it, just for the glue.
Wow.
This will table here. Okay, how are we here?
Close it? No, you didn't.
No, I didn't, no, just, use just take out the whole cap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you can just put a little blob. I trust that you guys won't, spill the whole thing.
Well, you're very trustworthy. Okay, so I have to watch what you're doing.
Okay, I'll wait until the glue goes around, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
If you want to work on coloring your other petals or whatever, that's fine. And then, we actually might need more wire, so
Okay.
take that out.
Need more.
Have to take the cover off.
Oh, yeah, mine's.
Okay, you might not need to do that much, but I'll put some more here. Some more pinks, if you guys want to try different pinks. For all pink markers and kind of purplish pink markers, I'm fine, so. There's some more tape.
Having it.
Just kind of depends on how you use the tape. And then here's a little bit more pieces of that in case, you're ready to run out. And what else? Oh, we're gonna probably need more of these, since I only put 2 in each, and we're gonna need 5.
So you wanna put some on mine, or do you think you should? Yeah, then I definitely need more crepe paper. I'm supposed to make 2 more.
Yeah.
How many flowers are we supposed to have?
I think
5?
I think it looks nice with 5.
I only have 4.
I've only cut out enough for 3.
Yeah, and once I show you guys how to do it in the process, then you guys can kind of just continue on your own making the rest of them.
Yeah, that's plenty. I think that's 3. Yeah.
Then I need to make a whole mess of these little gizmos.
Yeah, I need more crepe paper.
Yeah, let me find it.
You need one.
We can pass it around.
Yes.
Yeah, just pass it around if you have any
Oh, okay. So you make it different.
more of these little wires, If we're gonna do 5 flowers the other night, I only put 2 in there for some reason.
You're welcome. Okay, I need to give this. I found some.
I don't think I need any more.
Okay, I think that's enough now, enough wire and everything.
What are we doing with the glue?
Okay, so then now, once we kind of have our setup here of the petals, the little center part, the salmon or whatever it's called. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit of this glue on my little spatula. And again, I just cut about a ½ an inch or so to make a little section of this to use. You can also use your finger, but it'll just end up drying. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my small wire. Actually, we could start with the bigger one. So that can be the one on the very top. Start with the big one. So the longest wire, and just have one of these on the very top. So let's do that. We're gonna add the little center stamen part, and we're just gonna kind of roll it or just fold it over each other. It's okay if it doesn't exactly roll around the tiny center here. Just kind of like pinch it.
Where did it go? It's just, oh, there it is. Same color as the table. Couldn't see.
And then even if it's folded, what you could do is just kind of twist it in your hand. And that'll kind of like,
So you're taking the long one and you're.
yeah, this is the longest one, so we can do the flower on the very top. Okay, and it might help to just go ahead and straighten that wire too, so it's not so bendy.
Wonky.
Bendy is the official word.
Bendy's a good word. Oh, I think I
It's not so
put too
bent-
much
bent.
glue on. It's making a mess.
Yeah, it really just needs a little bit of glue.
Yeah, I did way too much.
That's okay. You're gonna add the petals on here too, so it's okay. So then what you're gonna do is take your little petal, okay? And this is what's kind of cool about the crepe paper, and also with the needle felting, we did this, where we can kind of like gently pull the petal. I just recommend just kind of using maybe your fingernail, and it's just gonna give it this little curvature to it. See, because the crepe paper is, smushed, pleated. I'm trying to think of the right words here. It's gonna just along the middle, right? Don't do the top because then the top is gonna, get just as wide. So just along the middle, you kind of just want to gently curve each little petal, and it's gonna make it look like a little bowl, okay?
Yeah, right.
And then you take this little petal and put it up on your centerpiece there. Okay, just a little bit of glue. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing again. I'll just, if you guys want to see that again, I'm just gently going in the middle. And if you happen to rip it, okay, just make another petal or glue it back together. And I'm just kind of gently undoing the little pleated part in the middle, so it gives it that natural little curvature. Okay,
Mhm.
and the bottom section, you can decide to kind of fold it in a little. That's gonna leave it a little bit, it's gonna help the petal kind of keep that curvature to it. Okay, you can add your tiny bit of glue, and then just add it to the next part of your flower.
So do the flowers overlap?
The
when you
flowers,
put them on?
The
The
petals.
petals, I'm sorry.
yeah, the petals, they are gonna overlap here. So this one I pinched in to make it look a little bit narrower. So you can do that, but just because I think it'll hold the petal curvature a little bit better. But you are gonna be overlapping on that section that you just did.
Okay,
So see, these are just close together here.
yeah, mine keeps moving up.
Yeah, and it's just because the glue is so wet, right?
Yeah,
So if you just use a tiny bit of glue, I think that might help.
well, I'm trying it.
I'm even gonna use the glue that's already on there, like mostly, because I kind of put a lot too. Oops, I didn't do this one. I'm kind of curving
This
this
is
out a little.
anything we're gonna take home to mother.
Okay.
It'll be beautiful, you guys.
It's okay.
Uh-huh,
Yeah, that's what you say.
thank you for that vote of confidence.
You know, say that on, say that about the building.
Yeah, I know, you did say that.
Okay.
Mine was out.
All right, and again, it's your first flower, so if this one comes out weird, just work on the next one. Okay. All right, so here's 3, and again, they're kind of like, you can adjust them, and they're gonna dry a little bit. Obviously it's gonna harden, so just keep going with it. Okay, if you want to do something that just looks like a little blossom too, you can just do 3 petals. But I'm gonna keep going with this one. Curving it out a little.
Oh, this looks anything but like a flower.
Curving that petal out. I'm gonna twist this one on the bottom. Little bit of glue.
There, maybe that's better. Well, guess what my talent isn't.
Okay. All right, so now I really have some overlapping, and by the end, it might be like, okay, where is this petal gonna go? Okay, so just kind of get it in there. Again, we can adjust them as this dries a little bit, and it's gonna hold together a little bit better, okay?
Yeah, that's what I say.
Mine does not look like a flower. It just looks like it.
Working on
You
it.
know what?
It looks
Beautiful.
And again, I
Yeah.
refer to my high school students, but high school students especially, similarly to what I'm hearing in here, can be kind of negative. And so they criticize each other in a very harsh way, even though I know they're kind of just playing around and, making fun of people is kind of their thing. I used to make them say +2. So if somebody said something really bad about somebody's work or their own work, I would make them say 2 things that are positive to make up for what they said that's negative. So when I would hear somebody say like, oh, this looks like beep, 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 or whatever they say, right? I'll be like, you have a +2. And if they didn't do it, then they would get another consequence, right? So
Okay. I think
they would
I
walk
know-
around trying to think of something nice to say.
I think I know what I did wrong.
Just a tiny bit.
Okay,
It's not horrible, but it ain't gorgeous. So do we do the other flowers on the short stems?
okay,
now?
wait. So before you guys
Oh.
move on, okay, hold on.
Okay.
Okay, so, ideally, we want to let this glue, especially white glue, dry a little bit. I wanted to show you this glue because I found this out just recently and I was like, where has this glue been all my life? Okay. It's actually called, it's art glitter and it's kind of originally probably made for glitter, but, it's cool because it's a craft glue. It dries quickly and clear and it doesn't warp whatever you're doing. So the paper, when it gets wet, it starts to get rippled, right?
Mhm.
So if you're doing like cards and things like that, anything paper related, this is not going to wrinkle that paper and it's going to dry very clear. So I use it a lot for like scrapbooking and then lately I've just been using it for everything because it's so effective. Okay. So it is a little bit pricier than regular glue and it dries very fast. So I wouldn't recommend putting it out like this white glue because the white glue will stay sticky forever. Okay. Well, not forever, but longer. This one will dry very quickly. And so, if you have it, it's kind of cool because it comes with this little metal tip and then you can keep it and add a tiny bit, work on it. And then, you just have to remember to seal it up here with your pin that it comes with. And then also it comes with, they have little bottles so you can refill it. So highly recommend this if you are a crafter or artist or just want a good glue to work with, to carry around this little art glitter to whatever kind of art class you're going to, because, you have your own like nicer tool here. Okay. So highly recommend that. There's also another one that's more expensive called, barely glue or something, and it's a green bottle with a bear on it, and it does the same thing as this one, but this one's less expensive. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not ridiculous. It's like, I think I paid like maybe $8 for this thing, so it's not crazy, but it's worth it.
It's not doing very well.
Seems like it would last a long time because you've got that.
Oh,
tip.
yeah, and you use it very sparingly too.
Thank you.
Okay, so, have you guys used floral tape before? I'm sure at some
Yeah,
point.
Tiny bit.
Okay, so floral tape, and I didn't even know how to use floral tape until like once a couple of years ago. So if you don't know, it stretches and it releases a little bit of the adhesive in it when it stretches. So I think that's very handy. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just place a little bit of this, and I'm gonna stretch it out first because I want some of that adhesive to, oops. Sorry. I want some of that adhesive to release a little bit, okay? And then I'm gonna go to the very tip, the base of this flower here, on the tissue. And I'm going to just try to get it, again, just rolled on there. And I'm just rolling it in my fingers here, okay? Once we have it kind of secured, and it might help to leave it drying a little bit so it sticks to whatever glue is on there, okay? Then we can just start using it as like regular floral tape. So again, to use it, we just stretch it just a little,
Oh, that didn't work.
okay? Again, it's gonna be tricky to secure it on there, so just, give it a minute. And then we can start to just, and again, I like to have my fingers kind of pinched here so I can roll the little stem. Rolling it onto this, and as you're rolling it, you're kind of angling the tape so it's at a 45-degree angle. So if this is your stem, okay, and your tape is kind of sticking out this way, okay, and so as you go, you just kind of tug on it a little bit, you know, if you rip it, it's okay, but just tug on it to release some of the glue that's in there. And I'm just kind of tightening it on here, and then I'm just rolling the stem, kind of, I like to roll the stem into the tape instead of trying to wrap the tape around. Okay, so watch, you can see the difference, right? So
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm holding it here, and then I'm just rolling the stem into the tape. Okay. Pulling it a little bit. It doesn't take much to release that adhesive quality to it. And then again, I go down and I'm just twisting and rolling the wire, the whole thing, rolling it into that tape.
Are we going down the whole wire?
No, so go around, well, let's see, this one has about, I didn't do this one all the way. I'll go down about, I don't know, what is that, 3 inches? It just depends on how far away you want the next flower.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave that one there because I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna get another flower and I'm gonna attach it to there, so I don't want it to be like, you know, covering the whole thing. You don't have to go back up. Okay, at this point too, you can also just kind of like tear off a little section. And we can just use that tab to blend into the next one. Okay. So that's gonna be the stem. And then I'm gonna go ahead and make, you know, the next little bits. So, get my orange. So you can just kind of work on building the flowers individually. And then I can show you how to kind of wrap them all together. Okay. So right now we're just working on the rest of these flowers. That is some nice music playing in the background. I was just thinking about that,
Okay.
playing music when I'm working. That's more relaxing, you know? Sometimes I play stuff and it's like energizing, but sometimes you just need to mellow out. Okay, just rolling these up. Okay, did anybody else, a couple people here took the one stroke class, right?
Yes.
One stroke painting class. Were you guys interested in doing another one of those classes?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm gonna tell Michelle, because right now she has 2 garden making things, which are, I think I showed you guys, the potted cow and the frog, but I'm thinking maybe we can move one of those till next month. But I don't know if we're gonna have room to do another paper flowers one and one stroke. So if there's a preference, I could tell her to do paper flowers instead of one stroke, so it's up to you guys.
I really do want to.
One stroke, okay.
I would too.
I would like to do it this time.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I'll let her know then. 'Cause I kind of don't want to make pots 2 months in a row, 2 weeks in a row.
Good. So the next flower, we go on one of the other short wires, correct?
Yes, yes, the long one is just kind of the main stem.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, now I have to remember what I did. You roll it, right? With or without glue? With glue.
Yeah, the only one you don't use the glue for is the floral tape.
No, I'm doing that wrong. Roll it onto the thingy.
Oh yeah, so to continue my story, right, like I initially my making them say nice things about their work was just about their work, right? And then, you know, they're kind of, if they're being bad, right, they're making fun of their friends or whatever, and they're saying something bad about another person or making fun of them or something. And so then I turned these plus twos that they would have to say into like them saying nice things about the other person. And so, these teenage guys, and I'm like, here, you have to say something nice, because mostly they're making fun of their guy friends, right? These guys making fun of other guys' friends. So I would say, okay, no, you have to say something really nice about them, And they're there, one guy is looking at the other, trying to think of something nice to say about them. And I'm like, I don't care what it is, you have to just say something nice about them, their personality or their looks or anything, right? So the things that they would come up with to say nice about somebody else.
I imagine that was entertaining.
It was, oh man, it was like, I like your snaggle tooth, or like, I like your hairline. A lot of people said they like the hairline. Or some clothes that they were wearing, or that. Or if somebody had like a funny laugh or a weird laugh, they would say they like their laugh, or so it just became this thing. And they actually stopped being so negative, because then they didn't want to say something nice about their friend, right? So, or then they would start policing each other. They would be like, oh, you said something mean, say 2 nice things about me, It was great. It's a whole different dynamic with teenagers. I'm sure you guys are familiar if you've ever been around them.
Raised a couple of them.
Yeah. Some of the most offensive things come out of their mouths, but also some of the most hilarious things.
That is entirely true.
Okay, this petal got a little bit messed up, so I'm just gonna trim that one. Okay, and again, don't forget to curve the little petals, okay? And make them look a little bit more natural.
Loop that one for, but then that's natural too.
Yeah, that's true. And again, if you mess up a petal, you can also leave it so it kind of looks like a blossom. So it doesn't really need all the petals. It can be a little bit more closed, put it on there.
Okay, this one looks a little bit more like a flower. Whoa. There we go.
So when you are done rolling the little brown stem onto it, you want to leave, at least an inch on there on the small one, okay?
Oh, we roll that separate. Okay.
Yeah, so this is separate because we're gonna be combining these two, right? Actually,
Gotcha.
I like how that stamped one looks. So you just want to make sure you leave about an inch. Okay. We have our two. Your fingers probably are gonna get a little sticky from rolling that floral tape, so just kind of keep that in mind. I kind of like to try to roll off the glue or even rub it onto the paper just to get some of that adhesive off. Because it's very like a waxy kind of adhesive feel to it, so. So put that on there, we can throw this paper away when we're done, so.
Okay, that one looks like a flower, sort of.
Okay. So we have our two here.
I'm slow.
It's okay.
And I forget now. Now, this makes me.
They come off. Just okay, just shove it back in there. I did that too on a couple of mine.
Okay, so.
What is
now you do this. And then you start putting these on the,
Okay, yeah, you roll that one, the middle piece on the wire first.
oh, this piece on the wire.
Yes, so that way you kind of have something to hold it,
Oh,
hold everything
with
with.
the small, one of these small ones.
Yes, the small one.
Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
Son of a gun. It's rolling right now. Yikes. Let's not have done that right now. It's just pitiful.
Oh.
That was good.
No, yeah, well, it doesn't want to stay on the wire.
And again, it's just needs some time to dry, right?
Could we go ahead and roll the other flour and just leave it be?
Yeah, if you want to give it a chance to dry so it doesn't come off. Is that what you mean?
No, to make the third flower on the other stem.
Oh, yeah, if you're ready, that's fine. And I'll show you guys how to kind of assemble all these.
Yeah, because
Somebody using the little stamp thing? Oh, no,
oh,
right?
it's over here. I don't think anybody's using it. We're all
I'll just try it.
into,
Using a wire, one of the wire for putting on the glue is a better idea because you get a lot less.
say that again, please.
If you use a wire to put on your glue.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
rather
good
than
idea.
dipping it.
Yeah, just dip your
This.
wire into the glue.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
And then roll it.
And then you get a lot less.
Mhm.
Take it and put it on your pedestal of a portion, and just put it on there with using the wire.
I see.
And it's a lot less, glue, I find.
Right.
No, example. Like this. But you may not need it.
Petals all over creation here. Must be these.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
I wonder if a glue stick would work better.
You might tear the paper. And then again, it may not. I don't know.
Yeah, I find that glue sticks dry out very easily.
Uh,
Kind of don't like to use them, whatever you have laying around, really.
sure.
Come on and stick it. Not on my finger. On here. I think I have this stainless too.
And it's kind of dry. Yeah. I found that out because I was getting in a hurry. I go, oh, well, that's not gonna be on my first one, didn't do too good.
Here, come on, stick.
You know, you can imagine if you're making a bunch of these at home or whatever, you can just kind of get a bunch of things ready and do the gluing all at once, so it's a little bit more time to dry in between and.
Yeah, it's more learning the technique. than
Yeah.
Anything else.
But once you kind of get the hang of it and you know, you can kind of imagine. I feel like anything like this is very relaxing, even though it's,
Oh,
Oh, are you kidding me?
even though it's tricky, but again, once you get the feel for it, and it's like anything, right? Like everything is gonna be, especially anything artistic, it's gonna be a little bit frustrating when you're starting, because there's always a steep kind of learning curve whenever you're trying something new, but
that is true.
at some point, you're just gonna be able to sit and watch TV and, you know, make a bunch of petals as you're sitting. and-
Okay.
Yeah.
If you say so.
Yeah.
Oops, I did this one backwards. Okay, curve the other way.
How are you doing, Jennifer? You're very quiet.
I'm doing okay. Just, you know, I got my glove on. These are tiny, wires tiny. I'm having to focus.
So if you guys do need to cancel a class, just because yesterday I had, how many people? Or last class, I had a bunch of people signed up and like, I think maybe a little more than half showed up, so it wasn't
Oh,
bad.
that's annoying.
It wasn't bad, but you know, just every time I have a class, I'm trying to set up kits beforehand and
Right.
to make sure I have enough and just to save steps, and so, you know, even like maybe the day before, Michelle will text me and tell me how many final people we have, and so, you know, even if the day before, you know, you're not gonna be there or whatever, just,
But sometimes people get sick or something, so.
oh yeah,
probably not
of course,
avoiding.
that's fine, but if you know something's gonna come up or whatever, just let her know. Just so I'm not making like 10 extra kits and and for this stuff, it's not a big deal, it's small stuff, but you know, like the needle felting or whatever, sometimes I'll end up going to the store and making sure I have enough supplies, so it's like a little bit more.
But then you could have like the card making class and people that didn't sign up showed up. And
Yeah.
you didn't have enough kids,
I know, that's
so you
right.
can't, you know.
Yeah, and it's not
both
like,
ways.
it's not like the material we wasted or anything, like, well, I'm still gonna use all this stuff for something else, so. It's more just so like, so we know how many in space wise, and you know, they set up a bunch of tables and.
Should we roll the third one with the tape?
Yeah, the tip of it,
Yeah.
right, so going about an inch down. Oh, I missed a pedal on this one.
I'm just doing 3 because I got my. pick.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Well, how, if we do 5, what do we hook the other 2 onto?
We're gonna do it on the same branch. This just has 3 on here, we'll just do another one. You didn't see this one
Oh.
yet?
No,
Yeah.
so that's what we're gonna do is that,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
3. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's, no, this is just with 3, but if you wanna add more, right?
Oh,
then,
I see.
you know, I made this one a little longer, the long stem.
Yeah,
So this is about, you know, the sample I brought, this one has a little bit more space to put 5.
I see what you're saying.
Okay.
And
Alright,
if we
guys.
want to, we don't have to. We
Oh,
can
yeah,
just
if
do
you
3.
are just, you know, done with 3, that's okay.
I have no idea what I'm done with.
Okay, so let me show you guys how to attach the
Yeah.
small one to the bigger one, okay? And so we have, this here, we have a long one here, and that has a little bit of a tail to it, okay? And then we have the short one, and this has a little tail to it too, and this one could be a little longer. Doesn't really matter, we can still overlap the tape if something's too short, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna match up the base of these, you guys see that? Okay, and
Then I
I
can do
kind of
that.
say cross it so it's like an X. okay? And then so hold one side, pinching it between your fingers. And then right at the middle, it's gonna be like a little twisting motion. So you just twist that little X
Yeah, right.
around the other. Okay,
Uh-huh.
okay, and again, so if I'm just doing it just with plain wire, just so you guys can see it a little bit easier. Okay, here's just as if these two are the same, right? So I'm crossing the wires like an X. And again, on the sample, it's gonna have a bunch of tape on one side. So I have this X, okay? And I'm holding the two flower stems firmly on one side. Right at the middle, I'm holding it firmly, okay? And then I'm just taking the other two and twisting them around like a twisty tie,
Right.
okay? And it's okay if it's not perfectly tight, right? Because we're gonna cover this with the tape. So this is kind of what it would look like. You just want it to be able to go around a few times. This, so you guys can see it a little better.
There we go.
And I'll do it with another one too, so you guys can see it, okay?
Please.
You want me to do another one? Okay, let me get some tape on this one so I
Well,
can show you.
I don't know. I mean, I've done something, whether it's right or not is another story. It looks like I did it too.
Okay, I'm gonna get the other one ready just to show you guys in case you need to see it again.
I've got mine way too close together. And this one keeps sliding down
Yeah, I would say like, give it some space here, so.
yeah, well, that was my bad, because
At least it has maybe 1.5 inches of space going down. And then your flower on this side should also have at least about 1.5 inches, just so it's not gonna look so crowded right there. Oops. Again, another telemarketer. I know, and I get them all from California, so it's like,
isn't that weird?
I'm like, sometimes it's super late and they're calling, at dinner time over there.
Who's your phone provider?
AT&T, but I've had them and my phone number forever, so.
Okay, but do they have a scam blocker? Like I have T-Mobile and they have Scam Shield.
Oh, really?
And I
Okay,
just automatically turn it on and it cuts out, it doesn't cut out all of them,
yeah,
but it cuts out quite a few.
okay.
Scam likely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and mine will say scam likely in telemarketers, so I know not to pick up. But, sometimes it's just annoying.
Get all of them, but it gets part.
It's so much better when they block, a big percentage of them.
Yeah.
I don't answer the phone. I mean, if I don't. know
Okay.
the number.
So if you guys take a look up here, okay, at the screen, this is gonna show you the order. So you wanna start with the last flower that you added, that branch, okay? So leaving the top one, right? I'm gonna just start adding this, twisting it a little bit more onto the, middle branch here. So I'm just kind of twisting it, bringing it down. I should probably go one more loop over. Okay, so I'm just gonna connect it so that this part finishes. And I'm using this to wrap,
Whoops, I'm undoing the whole thing.
I'm wrapping this one around the bottom. Okay, so again, this flower's little brown, little tail of the tape.
My whole one came off.
Uh-oh, that's okay. You can always go back, work it back up. And if you
I'm
need,
gonna try.
if you need help reattaching it, I'll help you guys too. It's okay. Okay, so again, I'm putting it at the tape at a 45-degree angle from the little middle branch, the middle stem, and I'm rolling the whole thing, twisting it kind of onto the tape until that finishes, okay? Okay, and again, I leave a little bit of space and then we're gonna add the next one right here. So probably went and did about 1 inch of the tape coming downwards, okay? And with this tag over here on this side, okay, you can either have it go back up into the flower, or have it brought back down, going downwards, so it overlaps kind of what you just did, okay? Another thing you can do is just kind of tear this tape in half. so that you see it's like split down the middle. So if you want to just kind of like take one little section, the part that's lower, and wrap it down, and then just take this little section and just wrap it in on itself.
Well, I can't.
On my rules.
Okay, I'll come around and help you guys, don't worry.
Yes, please, because I cannot get this
Okay,
to stay on. And just every time I roll it up.
okay, let me come around.
Thank you. Very cute.
All right, let me see.
I can't get this to stay on the
Very
top
good.
one. Every, when I start rolling it, it just doesn't stay on. So. brown.
Okay, well, let's get another piece, a new piece.
Okay,
Maybe that one's just had it.
it's very possible.
I just go on this so we can see what we're doing. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna split this one, so watch, I'm gonna split it. Okay,
Yeah.
so that just some of it can kind of hold on to the bottom part. So that way it'll anchor it, right?
Okay.
And then this, I'm just gonna fold it in on itself. Okay? And then here, I'm pulling it a little, right? Are you,
I-
you're
yeah.
pulling it, right?
Oh, I am.
Okay.
But I don't think
And
I'm
then-
doing it right.
I'm gonna just pinch the wire and kind of twist it on.
Yes,
Okay.
getting it on.
And it's okay, because it might not stick right away. The adhesive on this is not so, strong, right? So I'm kind of twisting it on, and as I'm doing that, I'm trying to anchor that there, right?
He doesn't use his stay too long.
And the more you roll it over on itself, the more it's gonna stick to itself, right?
Gotcha.
So I think that's also kind of the key here, that we want to be able to pull it, have it stick
That's your.
on itself.
John.
Oh, okay.
So here I'm just rolling it completely on itself without going up, right?
Yes.
So that way it'll just hold on there. Okay, add a little bit more, and then this piece, I'm just gonna use it to wrap
I love cherry blossoms.
around the bottom here.
When COVID hit,
Uh-huh.
we took our grandsons and finally, while we were living in West Virginia, we drove over to Washington to see.
This one's still loose, so I haven't finished, so I'm just gonna
And
let
it
that
was the
kind
next
of
day,
dry
the
in there
mash
for a
shut
minute.
everything
Okay.
down.
And then
So
I'm
we
gonna
made
do
it
this part
just
now.
in time.
Yes. Yeah.
And
That's
this-
lucky and a good story to tell.
Yes, it is. And we only took my grandsons. We
So you
let
wouldn't use
Mimi
the
home
green
with her
floral
mom and
tape
dad,
that's wasted.
so we gave them a break from
The
her.
old fashioned.
They got
Yeah,
out
you
fresh
can use
air.
that tape. That
Oh,
one
okay.
is, I feel this one's a little bit more delicate, this tape.
Gotcha.
And you can use the green, but I just, this
It
ranch
was
is
a lot.
a ranch color over
That is true.
Because they kept
So then
saying,
this next one that you
live
do
here,
right
please
here,
do
right?
this.
Mhm.
So this one doesn't have any
Doug
extra
was
tail, that's
never
fine,
off.
okay? So what I'm gonna do is lay this one
But this
cross
one, he
it.
was off.
right here.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Also,
That's
when
what I
we-
did
Yeah,
wrong.
so I'm gonna
When
pinch it right here.
Randy
So okay,
threw
this is
Mimi's
extra,
birthday
right? I'm gonna
party,
Yeah.
pinch right
that
here.
happened the
And
day
then here,
before
I'm going
they
to
started
twist.
shutting down business.
Twist,
Wow.
twist.
So first we got to see the cherry blossoms and then her birthday happened at Chuck E. Cheese.
And then
And
this,
right after
You're
that,
gonna start
they shut.
whichever way you wanna go.
Okay. Then I can use an end of that.
But
to
we
finish up with
went
that.
Yeah,
over to
this
their
you can
house
there.
for every
Yeah.
occasion.
Okay.
She
All
always
right.
Just
got
kinda getting the hang of it.
Easter
I know
eggs.
it's
We
tricky.
made sure that she wasn't deprived in her
All right,
childhood
you
from
need
any
some
of
help here?
that
Are you
stuff.
ready? You're good? Do you need
Yeah,
help?
I did this
Okay, that's looking really good. You guys want some help?
and I'll add on to
I'll be a little
it.
few minutes. Right now I'm doing these and letting them dry and then.
Okay, I would get this lighter one. See this? This color is a little stark here. And the alcohol ink actually blends the other ink that's on there. So it's gonna help to have it fade a little bit and create a little bit of a transition. Or you can use something like this. I don't know if you like this neon color. You can try it. It's just to have that blend a little bit more.
Oh.
Not yet, not yet. Oh, yeah. Okay. They're looking good, but we're not quite done yet.
Mine is
Your
not
bill light was
picture
down.
ready.
Yeah, mine's not.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's like,
I'm not.
we pulled it all the way up. Oh, okay.
Yours look pretty. Thank you. I don't know.
Oh, yours look
So
nice.
I asked
need
some of the
them to
ladies
dry.
here that,
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you know,
discipline.
That's my biggest issue.
It is.
What
Probably,
you
I wonder,
wanted to do,
like,
if you
make
wanted
them and
to
let
do
it dry
another
for a
class
couple
like this
hours,
or
then
another
put
one
it
of the one
together.
cleaning classes.
Right. That's what I
And
think
they
we should
kind of
do.
said they wanted to
All
do
about
the
the technique.
one stroke cleaning
That's
class
what I
again,
think.
a different one, right?
Okay.
So maybe we can talk about that after.
For my flower.
Should be my Sam,
Mhm.
oh, my address. Just got one. Thank you. I washed it. That's about all I did. There you go. Oh, open. Okay. All right, so we have our branch, right, our little flower. So I'm gonna just unroll this a little bit. I think it's a little too low. So I'm gonna start doing the same thing. I'm gonna crisscross it over. Okay, there's a bunch of extra tape on either side. That's fine. Okay, crisscross it. Actually, I'm gonna place this one on the other side. So I'm gonna try to like angle it this way. And then I'm gonna twist it together. So here, pinching it and twisting it. They're like twisty tie. Maybe. All right, bunch of little stray pieces of tape here. I'll just get those down later. Okay. Start with the lower one, just wrap it around. Sometimes I'm also just talking for the sake of the video too, okay? So if I'm repeating something excessively, it could just be for that reason. And all of the videos that were done with the grant program, the Zoom grant, you guys can watch all of those classes. They're just recorded. I'm not sure where they're posted though. That's something I have to ask Michelle. They might be on the Facebook page posted, but you guys can watch all of those classes for free. And there's a material list that I send out. So if you ever miss a class or you can't make it, just know that those are available online to watch. Okay. And if you need help with any of those classes that, you do watch and you get stuck or, you don't understand something on there or the screen was off or I don't know, something, right? You could just ask me whenever the next time you see me. I can always help you even finish whatever you might have started on online if you need some extra help. Okay. As long as I'm around, I'll be able to help you guys with it. Okay, so I'm just kind of cleaning up this extra tape. Okay. Adding the other one, cleaning that up a little bit. All right, so we can just continue with the rest of the flowers. I'm actually gonna try putting one on one of those branches, just because I think it might look cool.
All right. It's just.
And I kind of like this branch because it has these little nibs on it, nubs,
yeah.
whatever they're called. And the other one that I got didn't have that, but when I came back with the scissors, I saw this one on the floor and it had it, so.
Yeah, those are buds.
Yeah, they're like little buds of leaves or
I
something.
think so. Yeah, leaf buds.
So I'm gonna just see how that looks.
Well, there it is.
And cherry blossoms are perfect for this time.
It's not looking bad.
No, look at
Yours
that.
looks great compared to mine's. Anyway.
You know what? Yours look great from here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think we're just critical hour, so.
Yeah,
Well, of
I
course
think you
we-
need to see it from a
yes.
distance too. Yeah, so I love cherry blossoms because it's like, okay, obviously they're a symbol of spring, but they're one of the first things to bloom, in the spring. And then it's perfect for this awkward time between Christmas and like real spring. And so it's kind of gives it like they kind of give like a frosty look, even though they're pretty vibrant, like they still feel kind of wintry to me a little bit. So I always like them.
Well, they come in all colors too.
Yeah, they
There are
come in-
white ones.
Almost purple colors and pinks and almost white looking. And I have I think it's a cherry tree right in front of my house, and I love it. I've never had, well, I've never had a house with trees, so obviously I like all the trees, but that one especially is so pretty. It just really is like, gives off this like hopeful feeling, you know, like when it's all cold and icy and then you start to see these cherry blossoms, it's just magical. And then, you know, at some point, there's this period where all the other branches and trees are still dry, you know, but then you just see the pinks and the white emerging, you know, and that's all you really see because they're the first ones to bloom. And so it's like this backdrop of like gray, muted branch colors, and then all of a sudden this like vibrant pink and white, like showcase of blossoms. So really pretty to see in here. One of the things I keep, you know, discovering as I'm living here longer is all the different variation in the seasons that, you know, we just don't get in California. So pretty to be out here. Okay, I can't count and talk at the same time. Okay. How are you guys doing? You good? Keep building the rest of the flowers if you are done. You know, just keep going and adding some more if you want to, unless you feel like 3 is good.
I'm good with 3.
Okay.
I don't even think I'm gonna get 3.
No. Or maybe if you want to, you can help somebody else with theirs and just make a couple of petals for them or something. Okay. So there's those. Okay. Orange. Try something a little different with this one. You're gonna get ready to go, right?
Almost.
I know, Michelle's. And Diane will get you.
Oh, yeah, Diane, oh, she's good.
I'm gonna put this one on this branch just to see. Just to see what
All right, what are
happens.
we doing?
You taking the whole. Yeah, if I help you find it.
So,
Now you're falling apart.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see them from far away.
No.
Look at it.
Mine.
All right.
Mine's so up.
I love it. You did? Listen to it, John.
No, it's not. Mine's falling apart. This is not-
See you all at the next one.
Yes.
There's a 4.
I'll see you.
Next one is, what is the next one we have with me?
You can pass on me.
The felted hearts, I believe, is the next one.
Yes, belted hearts, and we have 15 signed up.
Oh, okay, wow.
When is your next one? Start planning.
One stroke, that's what I wanted to gonna talk about. Maybe Michelle are gonna decide what.
March.
Yeah, probably in March.
They just want to pull cards. Stick them on. And then don't laugh at me, no.
It's working on this branch, I don't know,
I'm gonna make mine others.
Is it gonna stick?
There you go.
I think so.
But you
Yeah,
put
it's
them
just
down
glue.
and just let them dry, right?
I think maybe it just requires less tissue on the bottom to stick these little flowers on a real branch, but it's working out. It's a little bit like kind of wonky because if you don't have the wire to secure everything, but I think it'll work. Here. Maybe, I think it might be easier if you made it on the wire,
And then wrapped it
And
onto
then-
the stick.
yeah, wrapping it onto the branch. So, it kind of looks nice.
Yeah, it would be pretty laying on the table.
Yeah, especially on the table, that would be cool. Might just do that. Okay, so are we good with are you guys gonna make 5 or are you done?
I'm done.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm gonna make mine, the rest of mine at home.
Okay. that's
I
fine.
need
Just
help
use-
with the wrapping.
Okay, just use whatever you need to make, take whatever you need. If you need to take some more paper or whatever, go for it. And then, yeah, let me turn around and help. I think that for the video, I want to finish this, but just use that. Okay, you know what the wrapping?
Yeah, wrapping is a disaster. Once I get that, I haven't done anything with it. Here's the part that I started, but this part up here is still not,
Oh, okay, I think I know what you're doing here. So, okay, see how you have all this glue on here?
yes?
It's just a lot of glue. So what I'm gonna do is just use some of this.
I just wanted it to stay.
And then that's the tricky part, because the more glue you put, the longer it's gonna take to dry. So it's kind of like.
Correct.
I also feel like these are really long.
I took them off after I put the petals on,
Okay.
but that's okay. I mean,
Is here. I'm wondering if there's a way to maybe, keep the flower from falling off. Maybe we can do something like this where you take the stem. and,
Okay.
You know, I think if it's long enough, you can do
oh,
this.
sure.
And maybe just hook it onto there. That might keep it from coming off.
Well, I was
prematurely.
careful. I didn't want them come off. The other ones, I tried to,
Yeah, so that might help to keep that in place and then I can add back.
Ladies, thank you very much. It was fun.
it was good to see you.
Yes. Let's see what I can do with this when I go home.
Yeah.
It's more fun.
You can always give it as a little
Right.
gift for Valentine's Day too, or
Put it on your package.
put it in a little card to give to somebody, or yeah, a package would be good. As a little bow. Okay, and then,
Okay, so here is this.
Yep.
It should. I don't.
Oh, that rip right there, maybe.
No, that was from a different flower, but we can make one of these.
Ready.
And that's what I thought, but I just,
Yeah. And yeah, it just gets a little bit messy, but then.
yes, the curling looks good.
That. Okay, so just let that one dry and then work on the
And
other
this
one.
one's dry and that one,
Okay, so here, it looks like it's just a little bit close, short on this one. So I think the next one, let's just make sure it's not so close.
but see how up here we have lumpiness of the,
Which part, right here?
yeah,
We can put a little bit more tape and tighten that.
okay,
Okay, so here, I'm just twisting this a little bit tighter.
okay,
Okay,
yes,
anything that's kind of loose on the tape, we can always kind of clean up if there's an extra piece on the bottom. So this is actually fine, okay?
okay,
So then right here, what we want to do is we'll wrap this one a little bit, this one's more dry. So you just made this first, right?
right, I tried to let them dry.
So here, I'm just gonna wrap this a little bit. And then I'm gonna crisscross them, right? I think you got that part.
Yeah,
Crisscross it. All right, so then from here. Oh, I actually tape going on, so I'm just gonna cross this. top one that's extra,
Okay,
and then I can just keep wrapping around
right,
this bottom. Okay, so it's getting there.
okay, and then I had this one,
Yeah, so then
So I have
this
to
one,
wrap-
you're gonna stop right here with it.
Mhm.
You're gonna wrap this one and then you can attach it right here.
okay,
Okay,
All right,
Got it.
here's mine.
let me see. Okay, so this and this. Okay.
so we'll see you
Perfect.
Thursday,
Yes, so I'm gonna lay
Great.
this one on top like an X. So
Okay.
right where they're gonna meet,
Okay.
okay? This is a little short, so I'm gonna try this a little bit more. You want at least an inch.
Oh, okay.
An inch and a half would be best. It's just gonna make the
Okay.
flowers more
Um,
open.
there's basket class, the rest of basket class on Thursday.
You're doing basket
So-
class too.
So,
Possible that you'll be done.
okay, so here, I put about an inch, inch and a half.
It might be, what I was thinking was we'll do
So
baskets
here,
up there,
where they meet the
and
brown.
then we'll meet
and
back
it's
here.
right here.
So like you could just come in even if it was
Kind of
12:30
split at an angle
and just
right
start
here.
doing your diamond painting, I mean,
Just twist
Okay, yeah.
this. But this is gonna get loose. So the more securely you kind of hold the top, the easier it's gonna be to twist it around each other.
Yeah, this is my cup of tea, that's for sure.
Okay. So here we got that, okay?
Mhm.
And then this can just come into this bottom one.
and I'm sure Candy won't mind because she was here last week, so
So we can come in a little bit early?
I would say,
Yeah, I thought I'd try to be here about 12:30.
Okay, and then this one's coming down. Same thing. Okay. Is it just the bending of the wire that's not, like, it's hard to do, or?
Oh, I don't know, just need to do my flowers and if I do the all of it, yeah.
Oh, okay,
It's frustrating, I guess.
yeah. Well, let's take a look at the flowers too. So,
I mean, usually the end result is not too bad, but it's getting there.
And are you curling the petals?
Well, I tried.
Okay, so in here, that's one of the things that helps to make it look more natural. So I'm just pulling the center outwards a little bit. So it curves and just pulls that and it helps to round out that petal. So that actually makes a difference and makes it look like a little bit more natural. So there's that. This one I just feel like it needs some pink.
Okay.
I think we just need to twist these a little bit more, like all the way. Just because they look a little bit.
And then sometimes they broke at the end, so that was what.
Very
There you go.
nice. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think it's just a matter of finessing it a little bit. Even though this one doesn't have pink, it still looks
right,
nice.
We could have.
Okay. Yeah, see how this kind of looked like.
I didn't get that
like
either.
flat.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't even bothering anybody at all, so.
Tender loving care and just stretch out each little petal. Take each little stem, see how this is kind of wide right there? Pinch it. Twist it on the top or even trim the top a little bit if you want. So I think it just needs a little bit like your gentle
more
touch.
loving care.
Yeah,
I need some more.
more of a tape, okay,
She's more the rule.
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Okay.
And I think I need
Yeah.
more of the crepe paper to finish up mine.
That's correct.
So actually, I think I'm going to just steal this one that I used on this branch. For the sake of the demo. exactly the way to do it, but that works. Okay.
Once
That
it
one-
dries,
Gonna be more with it when I get.
I can fix it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just take some patience and.
Or not, no. Patience or not. Okay.
Okay, so, it's up to you guys to finish up kind of at your own pace. I'm gonna finish these just for the sake of the video here. But if you guys, whenever you guys are done, you're all set, okay? I think Michelle got pictures of all of them, right?
Yeah.
So I think we're good. That aspect.
Atmosphere is not. That was a surprise.
So all my kids get the bad signal at the same time. I had a scheduled phone call with my son, who I hadn't talked to since Christmas, yesterday, a video chat. And right after I get off the phone with him, headed to the bathroom, my daughter called, my oldest daughter, and I go, hey, you gotta call me back. Well, she never got around to calling me back, and this morning, my baby child texted me. It's like, wow, okay, who sent out the bat signal? Must have been Adam, because we scheduled a call last week, so.
Yeah, my mom, and I talk to my mom almost every day, right? So sometimes I'll call her and she's busy or whatever, and she doesn't pick up, or she's with other family or other siblings, and I'm like, God, I haven't talked to her in so long. And then I'll just call her, it'll be like a normal catching up, but when I miss calling her, it's the end of the world, and she's super worried about where I'm at, and she's like, I can't find you, and I'm like, I'm not lost, like.
Yeah, well, my oldest daughter, I talk to 2, 3, 10, 12 times a week, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
It depends on how many crises she's having. And if I haven't heard from her for 3 days, she gets a text, are you dead?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Why haven't I heard from you?
Right? I'm like, no, when I don't miss your call, like, I assume you're just gonna call me at some point. She's like, okay, and then she'll start calling my husband, and I'm like, oh my God. That's
See,
when it's like bad, like,
my
when my
trucker,
husband tells me, your mom called me, and I'm like, oh, shoot.
oh God. My trucker calls me every night and he keeps me on the phone a minimum of 2 hours.
Oh,
So that's 2 hours I'm not getting anything done. So yesterday, between the 2.5 hours with my son,
wow.
that's stopping to talk to my daughter, and then 2 hours on the phone with my husband, how much do you think I got done with yesterday? Very little. It's like, I love how y'all think I'm not busy.
Right?
I said, this house don't clean itself.
Okay, so you guys can always manipulate the branches a little bit and kind of like place them where you want them to go or join them with other ones. If you do have a smaller branch and you do want to finish it off, I would just recommend folding it up. Right? So it's not quite as thin and, spindly down there. And just kind of twisting it back up on itself before you finish off the base. So I think I'm gonna do that with that one, even though we only got 5 flowers on here. You can imagine if you add your 5th. And of course, the branches, they're super long on these cherry blossoms, so you can make it as long as you want, really.
Good,
All
they
right.
all look good, that looks good.
So
I
you
would
can
trim
see,
the little pest,
I really
the
like this
stamen a little
kind of
bit,
soft
that
look
yellow
with the
part, but
stamping.
other than that,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, but even from a distance,
You
the
want your
marker
sister
looks
back?
pretty vibrant. So it's up to you kind of how you want to do it. That's gonna be it. All right, I'm gonna stop this. And